Okay, so I already recorded this video, but it ended up being 15 minutes long, and I'm not really cool with that because I know I wouldn't watch a 15-minute video. So I'm going to speak much more concisely as I talk about this part of my conversion story. So this part of my story is about the decision to be baptized, and I think that's probably all we're going to get to today. But first, before I really get into it, I want to just thank you for just showing your love and your support of me sharing this story. Obviously, it's a very personal story, and I am very open about it and about a lot of things. But just seeing how receptive you are to it is very encouraging and helps me to continue doing these videos every week. And sharing this story and bearing some of my testimony is really, really strengthening my testimony of this church and kind of reaffirming my faith. So you are blessing me by watching this and just supporting me. So thank you. Okay, so I printed out a little bit from my missionaries' blogs. So I'm gonna hold this so I don't mess it up. But I want to show you my missionaries. So as I talk about them, you know who I'm talking about. So over here, this is Sister Carly Stedman and Sister Marianne Fletcher. They were my first missionaries. They are who I've been talking about. Carly taught me from the beginning through until a little bit after my baptism, until, let's see, the end of February. Where's her other paper? The end of February, beginning of March, I think. And then Sister Fletcher taught me from the beginning until a couple weeks before my baptism. She got transferred, but she was able to come back for the baptism. And then Sister Manson is who replaced Sister Fletcher. And so she was here for my baptism and then quite a while after. And then, so Carly and Christy were together, and then Sister Jessica Cox came in a little bit later. And as I continue my story, I'll talk a little bit about how it was just so perfect that these missionaries were who they were. I haven't really mentioned yet, but you know from last week that I was I don't know what I want to say. I really was concerned about scriptures and proof in the scriptures, and I just wanted that kind of knowledge. And Sister Fletcher was really good academically, very good at finding answers for me, looking in the scriptures. So she was so awesome for that, and man, I probably wouldn't have gotten through this all without her. And then Sister Carly Stedman was there with me through just so many ups and downs, and just was really emotionally there for me. And I'm still close with all of them, but I would say Carly especially. I feel like we can relate to each other the best, so that's been a huge blessing. Okay, so January 2014. This was Sunday, January 12th. I had been getting lessons for 6 or 7 weeks at this point, and Carly wrote it in her blog. That's how I know the date. But I decided to quit coffee for no reason. I don't even know why. But looking back on it now, of course, I believe it was a prompting from the Spirit, and that's it. And I just followed it. And I drink coffee every day, Starbucks, those little mocha things in glasses. I bought those and had them in the house. I drank 1 or 2 a day. I went to Starbucks maybe 4 times a week, and I got a drink, a Frappuccino or whatever. So I just decided I was gonna quit, and I did. Cold turkey, never had any except one time. Starbucks. So if you want a Frappuccino, just order whatever kind you want and say cream Frappuccino. Because if you say no coffee, they could think you said no toffee. And then you would take a sip of coffee and be very disappointed that you broke your streak of not drinking coffee. So that happened, but whatever. So I quit, and then my missionaries and some members of my nanny family quit something too with me, so that was cool. But it was actually super easy to quit. I don't really remember big withdrawal symptoms. I maybe had some kind of a headache, but I never caved, and I think it was easy because I was being blessed for putting my faith into action, for experimenting with the word of wisdom, for just showing Heavenly Father that I had real intent to follow through on I don't know, on being baptized if I was given an answer of if the church was true or not, because I had been praying to know if the church was true since July before that, and I wasn't receiving an answer. And let me tell you, I remember so many lessons where my missionaries were like, how's your Book of Mormon reading going? And I would say, ooh, like not so good. Because like I said, I usually like researched online stuff, and so I really was not in the Book of Mormon that much. I don't like reading. I like audiobooks now, but I don't like reading. So I didn't read much. And so why would Heavenly Father answer my question of whether or not the church was true if I wasn't doing anything, right? You have to show him that you will follow through on the answer he gives you. And then he might answer you if it's the right time. So that was that. And then the very following Sunday, so just 1 week later, the missionaries asked me to set a baptism date, and I totally freaked out. She wrote in her blog, she said, we asked Kelly last week if she would like to set a date for baptism, and it scared her a lot. Then she said she would pray about it. Because I remember when they asked me, I just had this anxiety overcome me. And so I just was like, I don't know, I'll pray about it. Like, I was like, that's all I can give you. So I did pray about it, and so I'll just tell you how that went. And then that'll be it, because I don't want to make this 15 minutes. So that was Sunday that they asked me. And then Tuesday night was the first time that like something significant happened, kind of. I remember I was in the kitchen with the teenager I nannied, because I was a live-in, so this is all in their house. And I said, hey, so I think I might, this is probably how I said it too, I think I might actually get baptized. That was like the first time that I had actually thought it was a possibility and felt the realness of it. And he was like super excited. He was like, really? Yeah. Like, he was so pumped, and that was like so cool to see. And so I'm like, yeah, like maybe. I don't know. I'm going to keep praying. And then Wednesday afternoon, pretty sure I have this right. That Wednesday afternoon, I met with a nun at my Catholic church because I had some big looming questions I wanted to get answered. So I know I asked her stuff about like the afterlife, and I'm trying, because the LDS church, because of modern revelation, like Doctrine and Covenants, like things are just so clear. You know, the knowledge that I have of the plan of salvation, the spirit world, things like that, I'm like, well, what about the Catholic Church? Because all I know is, like, I've heard about the afterlife. I don't know what that is. I've heard about purgatory, and, like, I think I know what it is, but I don't know. And so I asked her about what the Catholic Church believes about these things. And her answers are kind of sounding like what the LDS Church taught me, but just not in so many words. Like, not in the same words, right? And so I'm like, that's interesting that it's really similar. And all of the things she was saying was just really lining up with kind of what I believed as far as the LDS Church was concerned. And then another interesting thing about this meeting with her was that I have never felt the Spirit as strongly as I felt it in that room with her. Like, isn't that crazy? And so you would think that because of this meeting, and let me tell you, my mom really wishes this was true. I think she was like, please, nun, like, make her stay Catholic. And because, like, I was discovering that the Catholic beliefs really were in line with the LDS church's beliefs, you'd think, like, maybe I'd stay Catholic, right? Because I felt the Spirit and da-da-da. But actually, the Spirit told me, confirmed for me, that all churches have truth, that the Spirit can be with anyone, and these are things I learned from my investigation of the LDS Church. Things that I don't know if I was taught as a Catholic. I just don't think I was taught as well. Also, you know, I was taught when I was younger, so it just didn't stick with me in the same way, or I don't know. But it just confirmed for me that it was okay. Whatever I thought was right, I should do it. And God would take care of the rest. And I kept having this stronger and stronger feeling that I should be baptized, LDS. So that meeting actually confirmed that for me. And then that evening, pretty sure that was Wednesday night, maybe it was Thursday during the day, but either way, I think it was Wednesday night. I FaceTimed with my mom and told her that I really think I'm going to get baptized. Like, this is real. I think she cried. I don't have like a super good memory of this, but I'm pretty sure she cried. She was really upset. I believe she felt some betrayal from me. My family's Catholic. I have ancestors who like built a Catholic church in a cemetery, like founded it or whatever you say. And My family's really big on tradition, and that's what the Catholic Church is about. And so that was upsetting to her. I think she also felt some guilt because I basically, but I wasn't saying this, but to her I was saying, you didn't raise me right. Like, I believe this is the right religion, so, you know, you didn't raise me right. But, I mean, obviously that's not my feelings, but, you know, I'm sure that's hard for her. I think you, as a parent, like a parent in an LDS family, you would be a little heartbroken or very heartbroken or whatever if your child left the LDS church, right? Like what you taught them and what you believe is true, and they're like, peace out, no, I don't think that's right, or I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. You feel a little betrayed, you feel sad, and that's how my mom felt. So that was difficult. But even through that, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I have this testimony. I feel like this is right. And so Thursday, I called my missionaries and I said, come over. I want to tell you guys some stuff. So the point of this was I wanted to tell them I did this and I did this and I did this, and through all these things, I still feel actually like really good about it. And then my mom boss, and so in nanny terms, this is like my boss, but the mom of the kids I nannied, she was in the next room, not in the lesson, not in the conversation, but she comes over like out of the blue and she's like, oh, are you setting a baptism date? And I was like, well, no, but I guess I could. And so we set a date, like right there. So I was kind of like, she gave me a little extra push to just do it. So I was already feeling good about it. And so through all of these little obstacles and things throughout that week, from Sunday to Thursday, I just felt like, yes. So that was Thursday. I think I figured out it was the 16th of, no, 20. Sorry, I'm reading her blog. To set a date. Okay, so by that day I was already set. Yeah, so Thursday, January 16th, I set a baptism date for Saturday, February 8th. So the date was set, it was happening. There's a lot of stuff that kind of happened in between that time, some preparations, and also some possible obstacles. Like another conversation I have with my brother, trying to convince me not to get baptized, giving me all these reasons I shouldn't. Like, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Well, what about this? This is going to be really hard. Like, this is going to be hard on our family. And through all of that, she's like, sorry, like, what can I say? Like, this church I really think is true. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go for it. And as you probably know, that's a little bit of my personality. Like, if I really believe in something or if I want to do it, I do it. So that is that part of the story. This is already long. So I will talk more in other videos about leading up to the baptism, the actual baptism, my first time going to the temple, I don't know, like my move to Utah, some of my first experiences in the church. So thanks so much for watching this and for supporting me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend, and I will see you next Sunday.